beautiful soul. Today, we are diving in to something that might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but only because your soul is ready to break free from something it's been silently carrying. Now, this episode is titled Waking Up Inside the Program: How to Spot Matrix Frequencies Hiding in Your Truth. Because, yes, sometimes what we think is intuition is actually programming. Sometimes what we call discernment is a trauma-coded echo. And sometimes what we're certain is our truth is actually whispered to us by the matrix. So what's the difference between the truth and programming? Well, let's be clear. Truth doesn't always feel soft, but it always brings clarity. Sometimes truth can sting or bite because it pierces illusion, because it threatens the identity we built around the world, because it asks us to release safety patterns that once kept us alive. But even when truth hurts, it carries the frequency of this clean clarity. It doesn't spiral you. It doesn't demand obedience. It opens. It might break your heart open, but it never belittles you, okay? Programming, on the other hand, mimics the voice of truth, but it contracts your field. It comes with shame. It speaks in urgency. It echoes the Matrix's favorite mantra, which is that you are not enough. So how do you tell the difference? You want to ask yourself in that moment, is this thought shrinking me or expanding me? Does this belief bring me closer to my power or farther from it? Because even if truth is confronting, if it restores your peace beneath the friction, if it reconnects you to your voice, your body, your action, you've found something real, okay? So why are light workers especially targeted? Light workers, healers, priestesses, oracles, mystics, you are encoded for abundance. But you're also emotionally porous, right? And the matrix knows this. It doesn't come through your logic, it comes through your emotion, through an urgency, through the subconscious. That's how it gets in. It speaks to you in the language of your own mind, and you think it's you speaking to yourself, saying, I'm too much, or I'm not doing enough, or it's not safe to be visible, or wanting money means I'm not spiritual. Or if I really trusted, I'd take the action, or I wouldn't, right? These are not divine whispers. These are implants. These are false like codes. These are scarcity codes, submission codes. They trick your ego into thinking it's being virtuous when really it's being silenced. And you take these on as truth. You download these into your ego, and then your beautiful ego begins to run those files and reflects these experiences, these false truths back to you. But your body knows it's off. Okay, that's why you're here. So let's scan your field right now. Close your eyes, soften your jaw, and bring breath into your belly. Good. And I want you to ask yourself, what belief about money or success have I been carrying that makes me shrink? And let that very first answer rise. Now, I want you to go to your spirit, the highest aspect of you. And I want you to say this: Spirit, is this belief aligned with divine truth? Quite often, you're just going to feel this response, not in your head, but in your field, right? Now, I want you to go to your ego. I want you to say, ego, demonstrate to me the program that's running beneath this belief. Let your ego, your body, or your emotional system show you the file it's been holding. It's going to be a story. And when you feel that, name it. Good. And I'm going to request permission to speak to your ego now so that we can remove this story out of your operating system. You can just send me a telepathic yes. Good. Ego, remove the files, the records, the core, the cause, the memories, and discordant vibrations right now. Give them a breath, a yawn, a swallow, a cough when it's done. Process it out, allow it to process and breathe through it. And ego, replace this with a new file with the remembrance of my true wealth frequency. Right now, install this as a new file. Activate and begin. Good. Just pause, let it process. You're not removing a thought here, you're actually recoding your field. Now, you were not meant to obey the old world. You weren't born to carry the codes of the old world. You came to dissolve them. That's why you chose to come here as a light worker, in whatever sense that is to you, in whatever you do throughout your life. You were never meant to obey the matrix scarcity scripts. You came to recode the field through presence, abundance, and energetic sovereignty. When you do this for yourself, you do this for all. So if things have felt a little heavy lately, if things have felt a little fuzzy, or if clarity has turned into confusion, it might not be a you problem, okay? It's the program, the matrix program. And the moment you realize that, you can delete it from your field. So let this land deeply. If a belief shrinks you, it's not yours. If a thought is having you go against yourself, it's not yours. And if a truth does not bring you closer to that sense of freedom, it's not divine. This is not about being perfect. It's about being clear. Now, you're not here to chase truth. You're here to remember it because you actually already know. So today I want you to get really good at discerning your thoughts. Are they yours or are they the matrix? And ask God or your higher self or the spirits of light to illuminate the frequencies that are still running in the background. Ask them to dissolve the loops, the files, and every false vow that is no longer yours to carry. I'd love to hear from you on how this landed for you today. If you can comment on the episode or send me a DM, go ahead and do that. And if this activated something within you, and if your field feels like it's vibrating right now, I invite you to share this episode with someone who's ready to remember too. And now I have a special invitation for you. If you are ready to live inside this remembrance, I invite you to join us inside the sacred wealth sanctuary where we clear energies and activate these codes weekly. Because your soul didn't come here to obey the matrix, it came to recode the planet actually. Now, the Sacred Wealth Sanctuary is a living temple space for the woman who knows wealth is energy first. And inside, we don't just talk about abundance, right? We become it. You receive monthly live activations that rewire your frequency and align you with your soul's blueprint for overflow, what it came here to be, do, and have. Potent energy work and rapid frequency shifts in our private Telegram group, and instant access to over 70 powerful recorded transmissions from ancestral wealth clearings to divine feminine codes, money rituals, cosmic currency downloads. This is where scarcity dissolves and your sacred wealth remembrance awakens. Now, you can begin today on a 7-day free trial. Then it's only $33 a month to stay in the field, because this wasn't created to be just a membership. I've had women that have been here for years. It's a multidimensional portal. So I invite you to enter the temple if it's calling to you, to recode your relationship with wealth and let your spirit lead. I'm sending you so, so much love, and I will speak to you next time.